The Indiana Pacers closed the trade for the star Pascal Siakam 2 weeks before the NBA trade deadline. However, several teams were interested in the power forward who played his entire career with the Toronto Raptors. But for the trade to happen, many details were resolved in the preceding days. Despite the Raptors having a certain advantage in negotiating with teams, Pascal Siakam has an expiring contract. In other words, there was a fear that the player's stint with the new team would be merely a rental. Thus, he would play only until the end of the season and then sign an agreement with another franchise. However, Siakam did not want to leave Toronto. The Cameroonian began his career with the team, where he became an NBA champion, received individual awards, and made All-Star game appearances. Additionally, the absence of Fred VanVleet meant he was the guy on the Raptors, despite the presence of the young Scotty Barnes. Since the Raptors management was concerned about a similar situation happening with VanVleet, President Masai Ujiri started listening to proposals from all NBA teams in exchange for Pascal Siakam. This was viewed favorably, as fear took precedence. There is a partnership between Ujiri and Siakam due to their championship together, but bureaucratic issues stalled the idea of continuity. While the player wanted higher values, the management tried to appeal to the emotional aspect. Siakam declined. His agent recommended waiting for the 2024 free agency, and no agreement was reached. So, from the moment Pascal Siakam did not want to commit to a lower value, the signal was given. It was time to trade. However, it was not that simple. Initially, Ujiri wanted to give the Raptors roster another chance, avoiding a complete overhaul in the last offseason. Thus, the president waited as long as possible to avoid a reformation. Even after the trade of OG Anunoby to the Knicks, Pascal Siakam still did not have the assurance that he would move to another NBA team. Ujiri wanted, above all, to give the players a fresh opportunity. It seemed like it could work, but Jakob Poeltl's injury accelerated a delayed process. Now, it was the right moment. The Raptors were fortunate that Pascal Siakam's value did not plummet in a potential NBA trade. Despite a slight drop in some numbers for the current season, teams know what he can offer. It was not the case with the Atlanta Hawks, for instance. The team rejected good offers for John Collins, and as the player lost priority in the attack, his numbers fell, and ultimately his value plummeted. When the Hawks finally made the trade, they received crumbs. However, it is known that Ujiri has not finished making trades. Gary Trent Jr. and Dennis Schroeder are next. Here are behind-the-scenes details. The Pacers wanted to receive Pascal Siakam in exchange, but had no guarantees that it would not be a rental, like all the other 28 NBA teams. So, how could it work for Indiana to win over the player? It is true that Haliburton convinced Bruce Brown to join the Pacers, but he played a crucial role in Pascal Siakam coming there. According to ESPN journalist Adrian Wojnarowski, the point guard spoke to Siakam before the trade happened. Haliburton knew that the Pacers management needed his help again as a recruiter. He told Siakam that the team really wanted his presence and that the Cameroonian would make a significant difference in Indiana's lineup. The fact that the Pacers have one of the worst defensive efficiencies in the NBA also helps. Despite having one of the best defenses, the defense does not work well, especially in the paint. So it would be a two-way street. While Siakam would help by relieving some pressure on the attack, the other side of the court could improve. So, when Pascal Siakam gave the green light for the trade, everything was already decided. He would go to the Pacers, but the right pieces were still missing. But before that, Indiana also tried for OG Anunoby. As the team did not have the right pieces that Toronto wanted, the forward went to the New York Knicks. So, the goal was not to lose Siakam. The Raptors asked for Benedict Mathurin or rookie Jarrus Walker. It would make more sense for Toronto, receiving a young talent, along with 2 draft picks and other pieces. When the Pacers management rejected the idea of sending one of the two, Bruce Brown's contract came in favor of the Pacers. For those who do not remember, Brown was a free agent last offseason, and the Pacers had plenty of space in their salary cap to accommodate his salary. But considering a potential trade, the management gave him a $45 million contract for 2 years. At the time, the Indiana team was heavily criticized. Today, not so much. Initially, the goal is to make the playoffs as it was before, and falling in the first round is also a reality. To go further, the Pacers need to significantly improve their defense. Unless another trade happens, Pascal Siakam alone will not make the team compete in later stages of the NBA playoffs. The Pacers have a very young roster and want to bet on the trio of Haliburton, Siakam, and center Miles Turner to defy predictions of an early exit in the playoffs, and thus make the power forward believe in the process. If Siakam believes, and the Pacers work, the team's upcoming seasons will be incredible. Now I would very much like to know your opinion on the subject dealt with in this. Leave us here so we can interact if you agree or not. This video will stay here. If you liked, do not forget to enjoy the video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the notification bell not to miss any video here. Follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter. Now at the end, YouTube will recommend some videos from our channel, so go ahead and watch them all. Until the next video, peace to all.